Welcome, Leo. Welcome to Sweet Tree of Life Tarot. This reading is for March 2022. Thank you for joining me today. This reading is actually done a little differently than we do other readings. It is a Tree of Life spread. So basically, it means anything that happens here, the top of the tree, which is like the heavens, it also resonates here as you're coming down the tree to the trunk and the roots. And it kind of everything that kind of goes happens in heaven also happens here, and it's just kind of that type of energy where whatever happens in heavens happens here, and they all kind of interrelate. Let's go ahead and start the reading. Here in the first position, we have the number one position. We have the Eight of Swords. So this is what usually the issue is. The Eight of Swords is basically a card of restriction. You have them a blindfold on. Obviously the crows are surrounding her, and she has these kind of ropes around her, right? Binding her, some kind of binding. So right here, what we're going to try to see is maybe how you can release yourself from feeling that vulnerability, the helplessness, sense of restriction, maybe feeling bound, because really all she has to do is take the blind off and then just kind of wiggle out of these, take the blind off, and just walk right through the swords. There's plenty of room for her to walk through. So she's not really trapped. She's just kind of entrapping herself by whatever's going on here in her mind and what she doesn't want to see or what she thinks she sees. So basically, it's like a denial by keeping the blindfold on and not looking at the whole situation. So this card reminds her that she can get out of this. There is hope out there, but she needs to take that blindfold off. She needs to take that off to see what her situation is. So let's continue the reading and see what's recommended on how to fix that. In the number two position here, we have the Four of Pentacles. Sorry about that. The Four of Pentacles. Well, the Four of Pentacles is basically in the drive position, like what's been driving you forward. This card usually tells us about, she's having, she's made some money. She's very, she obviously worked really hard to get it. She has a lot of fruits, bearing fruits from all her endeavors and so forth. She desires to maintain control, though, and to hang on to that the possessions. So, yes, careful planning and spending is a virtue, but the danger of doing that overly, like too much, is basically becoming selfish, and the danger of being possessive and controlling. So that's what she's doing here. She just doesn't want to share. She'd rather be alone by herself up in a tree rather than sharing her wealth that she's worked hard to make. Um, and that's, the negative part of this card, to remind us that not to fall into that danger of being possessive and controlling, because all the blessings that you do get, you want to remember to share those with others because they were given to you to share. And then in return, it'll come back to you as well. So you have to open, not be, as guiding is saying, don't be too guarded with your money. Yes, be careful. Wise planning is a virtue, but not when you carry it over to the point where you just rather be with your money and not sharing it with others that might truly be needing it, or, just sharing it in general. You want to be giving, because that is giving of your time and your energy that you got that money. So when you give to someone, that is giving literally, some of your livelihood away, but it's also, you've been blessed with that to help others as well. And this, if you help others, the blessings will continue to flow. So that's what usually is thought of that way. Here we have in the third position the Three of Wands. So right here, what it tells me with the Three of Wands, it's in the creation position of the tree. So it's either something you've created or you're in process of creating. Three of Wands, fire sign like yourself. A lot of wands here, three of them. We also have a few more wands in the rest of the reading. Right here, of course, Leo line, very fitting with you. She stands here, she sits here, kind of looking into her crystal ball, seeing what is radiating out, seeing what all her hard work is going to bring down the road. This card is also known as a card of exploration, adventure, visionaries, and just possibilities, and foresight. So that's why she's having the foresight to see what's going to be coming down the road. It could also indicate business partnership, not just you feeling bound or blinded by the person that you're with as far as the relationship goes, but also it could also indicate business partnership as well as leadership. Um, as she waits to see rewards that will still come after investing her time, her diligence, and her passion. So she's now kind of waiting to see that. Right here in the number 4 position, we have the Major Arcana card. We have the Hermit. The Hermit here is in the energy to build position. Like, what kind of energy are you going to need to build? It seems like you have to go within yourself, kind of contemplate a little bit. The hermits usually, retreats from the world into solitude to search within oneself for deeper meaning. So it's basically telling you, okay, just kind of put things on hold a little bit on some major decisions you might have to be making. Make sure you check everything before making that step. Get rid of distractions and concentrate on being introspective, looking within yourself in order to reevaluate your goals and then, and current path. And then by then, doing that and being introspective and looking inside and being reflective, really looking at everything for what it is, not for what you hope to be. You gain deeper understanding, of yourself and of the universe too. It's all connected. We're all connected. Right here in the number 5 position, we have what's either dissolving or needed to be dissolved. This card is usually a very positive card, being stability. Of course, 4 of Wands. The 4 is very stable. Knight in shining armor, happily ever after card. But because it is in here, something you need to dissolve, obviously, it's telling me that something is dissolving. Probably with a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. It's an upset in a relationship, maybe a dissolution of a marriage or partnership, or you're just feeling oppression and that binding. Maybe you feel oppressed. That's why it goes back to that. And maybe that's why you're feeling like you have to hoard everything and not share. You're wanting to see what's going to come up from that, but you need to look within yourself and contemplate on it. Be intuitive. Use your intuition. Use your faith, and just kind of be more reflective on the deeper meaning. Not that is more than just a materialistic part of life. Right here, a couple, if it's a couple that's living together, they're probably not going to live together anymore. And as far as they might be choosing not to get married, or a business arrangement. If it's a business arrangement, it could be a business arrangement or a contract that might not go through. So you have to work on that in order not to have it dissolve, or if it is already dissolving, um, that's what this reading is referring to. Either something you need to dissolve or something that is already dissolved, which is this seems it might be already dissolved, unless you're working on it to see the deeper meaning. But it seems like it's already dissolved here by the reading of what the energies that are giving out there. That right here, the Two of Cups is basically in the center position, which is kind of considered like the synergy. So you get all energies to create a bigger energy. So right here, the whole energy of the reading is about love. It's about the Two of Cups. It's about that connection with someone else. As you can see here, uh, usually, this is a lover's card, a connection, an attraction, that common bond, you're in a close friendship. But you can tell it's kind of a romantic relationship. He's giving from her cup, they're sharing from cups, which is usually meant emotional connection, romantic connection. There is the moon behind them. The moon, usually lights part of the path of the way for somebody at night, but it doesn't illuminate everything like the sun does. So you do have to count on your intuition for that. um, it could be dealing with a marriage, a union, a friendship, that kind of thing, or even just, you know, also a sense of partnership if it's a business relationship, or it could be a truce also, the forgiving of someone close to you. The card usually does deal with more of a, romantic nature, obviously, or sexual attraction. However, it could also deal, like I said, with either a partnership or a truce, kind of like forgiving someone about something. So it could be you maybe forgiving the person right here, trying not to dissolve this, but you have to make sure you look really within to see and be able to see without your blinders on what the real truth is and make that decision from there. And the victory position here, because it is a Five of Cups here, obviously you'll need to, it's kind of considered to be reversed in this situation because it's asking you to let go of the past and appreciating the lessons learned from that previous hurt and past mistakes. So if in truth, that's dissolved, then you just kind of have to learn from it, learn the lessons from it. Sometimes they're very difficult, but you can do it. From a previous hurt or past mistakes, you can see here she's kind of looking at the Two of Cups. It's a Five of Cups. You can see the Three Cups in the water, the Two Cups here behind her. She's so focused on looking at what's in front of her that's spilled. She doesn't even realize there's some other people, possibly other interests or other positive things coming her way that are right behind her, but she doesn't want to see that. She just kind of wants to focus on the negativity. So she has to turn that around, basically, and fix that. Look around you. Stop looking at just the negative things. Look at the positive things. There's some positive things coming up. So you want to leave that in this position and look at the positivity in order to continue to make this a part of a victory for you. Right here in the number 8 position, it reveals what you want. So right here in what you want, it's a Queen of Pentacles. She's very down to earth. She's a Queen of Pentacles, which also deal with earthly realm and finances and so forth. She's down to earth, practical, business minded, financially savvy, resourceful, and generous. But she's also nurturing and supportive, of all. She's truly like the Earth Mother. She's especially very supportive and loving to children and animals. She greets everybody with a warm heart. So it's kind of telling me that this is what you want to be. Somebody that's stable, somebody that's in control of her finances, but also still keeping her, grounded, feet on the ground, and being very nurturing and having that balance. So that's a very pretty card, very beautiful card. And then right here, of course, in the trunk of the tree in the 9th position, I'm sorry you're going through this hurt and this pain. It is 3 of Swords. It's either in this position is how you see yourself or how others see you. And it looks like it's obvious that you're kind of in a negative position there. You need to turn that around. Yes, you've suffered. Yes, you've gone through some things. There's heartbreak, painful separation, possibly disappointment, or maybe even a betrayal or abandonment. Somebody just decided, like they were saying in that other card, not to go forward maybe with a relationship or to go further to the next step, which is very heartbreaking, I know. This card is also, extreme grief over the loss. However, you got to remember, okay, you can see the sun here. I mean, the moon or the light here from the sun or the moon. It's kind of dark, so I'm thinking it's the moon. Just the light still radiating down. So there is hope. You're just going to have to move on from this pain best you can, day by day, holding on to your faith, your true friends. You do have people that love you. And it is necessary to mourn this loss. Don't just, brush it away, but mourn it so that you can then release the pain and move forward. So you do have some work to do, introspect within yourself and trying to get, through this time period a little bit at a time and actually mourn that process in order to let it go, to keep going forward. Then in the 10th position here, we have the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups here is what the outcome, basically, where you're radiating the roots of the tree. You're radiating, maybe a card of nostalgia, pleasant childhood memories. So basically here, even though you're remembering good memories from the past, maybe you just want to feel that desire to feel like a child again, or tempted to be going to that safe environment that you used to have of your youth, um, or maybe just reconnecting with old friends. Yet she knows she must continue to move forward into the unknown in order to keep going. And this is what this other card telling you here too. You need to move forward past the pain, past the hurt, but you do have to mourn through it and go through the process in order to continue to move forward properly. So basically, if you can go ahead and look at the pillar here, on the pillar of the pillar of severity, and this is the pillar of mercy. In the middle here we have the pillar of harmony. So in a way to kind of fix that binding and that feeling of vulnerability, and maybe just a feeling of restriction or helplessness, is by looking at what's really the situation. So you have a situation here where, yeah, you're going to go forward into the unknown, but you're going to keep hopeful. You're going to go work through that mourning process, start looking at the positivity, going back up the tree here, and then become that person and getting that victory that you want, and becoming that stable person that you want to become. And in that way, find that love for yourself and not being bound anymore. So just make sure you do take that introspective look, that reflection, to think things over and see um, what your next steps will be. But don't do them hastily. But look at the positive. Stay focused on the positive. Go through the morning, count on your friends, your faith, and, just so that you can continue to become what you want to become here with the Queen of Pentacles. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please give the video a like or subscribe so that I know you want me to keep creating these videos for the month of April. Thank you for joining me, and I'm sending you lots of peace and love and light. And I'm hoping you have a very good rest of the month, and hope to see you in April. Hang in there. You got this.